Picture the scene. The year is 1972 and the government in the building just behind me has just collapsed. To receive Sports Council funding, sailing needs a national governing body. Cue RYA Northern Ireland onto the scene. Now, as we celebrate our 50th anniversary, I could explain to you some of the changes which have occurred in our sport during this time period. But far better, head to Royal Ulster Yacht Club and speak to some of the people that were there right at the beginning.
The UDRA effectively became fairly defunct, particularly with the ISA becoming actually an All-Ireland body. So most of the clubs in the north would have paid a small subscription to the ISA to be part of their organisation, as well as paying their fees to the RYA. So that we had that. So the UDRA was pretty much defunct, but there was a need for the RYA to be in Northern Ireland.
If you're going to get government funding, you had to have an authority. You ought to have some sort of organisation which would be respected. So the Cart Sports Council and so on needed to have effectively a body, a national authority or the equivalent of a national authority. Well, clearly this is where the ISA couldn't do that.
I think the person who changed it was Harold Boyle. Harold became secretary and looked at it, and Harold had been, I think, with one of the big building societies and was a very heavy sponsor of sport. And he was a sailor himself, cruising man. But Harold effectively changed the organisation from an amateur organisation with a little bit of professional help into a professional organisation with full-time permanent staff. And the next thing we did was we then did the development squad, and that was again one of my ideas. We set up a development squad. We got Bill O'Hara to be the first performance manager, and it took off from there. Our athletes now get funding, which is maybe not as good as some of the centrally funded athletes, but they get real support, meaningful support that allows them to develop an international career if that's the way they want to go. They can slide into the ISA scheme, they can slide into the RYA scheme, and we've still got our own local coaching. So we've got it covered at all levels.